Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Nightmare Podcast. This is episode 77, and I am Christy, and I'm joined by Steven, Sleepaway Steven, right
Hi,
here.
how you doing, guys? Good to see you all again.
And on this episode, we are going to be talking about Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, Dream Warriors. I feel like this is pretty much everybody's favorite sequel. I see and hear that a lot. So
yeah, I think it's, and even from a critical standpoint, it's kind of the peak of the pyramid of the Nightmare on Elm Street pyramid.
Yes.
And then, everything else, which I love the whole series.
I do too.
I'm a fan of 4 and 5, and Brian was astonished that I like 5, but it has merits. But, Dream Warriors is probably, it's Wes Craven. It's just a solid movie.
Yeah.
Let's say very different than the second movie, but in a very good way. And that's not to say anything bad about the second movie, because the second movie is excellent as well.
Yeah, it's dark.
Let's say it's just a very different direction. But, it's probably one of the best in the series.
But it's before it got a little too campy.
Yeah, before they let Freddy go.
For me, I don't mind that. I don't care. I like Freddy being campy, but some people don't. But yeah, Part 3 is kind of a good mix, a little mix of it being dark and maybe a little bit campy, just a little bit. It's just on that edge of it. Because Part 2 was very dark. And of course, one's dark. But I don't know, sometimes I feel like he's even scarier in Part 2, though. Than Part 1, but
the shoes are terrible in Part 2 because they give him the little. He's always wearing combat boots or something, but in Part 2 he's got these dress shoes on, and it.
I guess I didn't pay attention to that.
Next time you watch it, look.
Well,
and
we'll have to do Part 2
his
next.
footwear is a little questionable.
All right. Well, we'll have to do Part 2 at another time, and we'll talk about the footwear. So I hope at this point in time, pretty much everybody has seen this movie and know exactly what it's about. Came out in 1987, has a great cast. First movie for Patricia Arquette.
Jennifer Rubin as well.
And then you also get Lawrence Fishburne, which he wasn't real popular yet at this point in time. And I thought it was funny. I noticed, too, back then he was being called Larry.
Yeah, he had
credited
started
as
going
Larry.
by Lawrence.
And then a little later on, as he got kind of big, he started doing Lawrence. And, of course, Heather's back. John Saxon is back. Everybody's back. So it's a great cast. Like I said, it was from 1987, which was a great year for movies anyway.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's some excellent stuff.
And it's basically takes place pretty much from the first one, really, because you get Nancy coming back and her dad coming back.
Yeah.
You kind of get that whole story. And then she is going to work at Weston Hill Psychiatric Hospital,
which is our first introduction to that part of the universe.
Exactly, and the hypnosil and all that stuff. So she just basically goes to work there, back in Springwood again, and she meets up with a whole group of characters that are having problems with their dreams, and tries to help them, and then Freddy comes back, and there you go.
Yeah,
you get a Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
That's pretty much the
gist of it, really.
Yes, the short synopsis. But I mean, like you said, if you've not seen it at this point, it's definitely time to check it out.
Oh,
and if you've not seen any of the other Freddy movies, it's really time to check them out. But I've also learned working here, there's not a large group, but a very select group of people who do not like Freddy. Period.
Oh, okay.
And I guess it's the child thing, and I can understand that, but I have never come across that before until I started working here. And some people, I just don't like Freddy. I'm like, really?
Well,
Why?
they really touched on what you're talking about with the remake movie.
Mm-hmm. And I think that probably brought out some more of it, too.
Because in this particular movie, when Nancy is telling all the kids... They call them kids, but I don't want to call them kids.
They're teenagers.
Kids, but anyway.
Yeah, they're young adults.
But they call them kids in the movie. Yeah.
These people would have credit cards today's
world. When they tell
world.
when she's telling the group about Freddy, she doesn't say child molester. She says child murderer. So
yeah, they definitely tried to steer away from that. And that's kind of surprising because Wes wanted to lean into that stuff.
Right.
But I think it was better for the series that they didn't. Just, we know. We know. Let's get on with the story.
Right.
And that's...
I don't know. I feel like that just makes him worse of a character, though, having that in there, which, for Freddy, it's a good thing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. I mean... Yes, definitely
to be
resume
that
tick.
scary and that, and have done all that. So, I don't know. I don't know about erasing that part of...
Yeah,
what he had
done.
It's
definitely part of his lexicon, so you need it there, but
it just makes things worse.
Oh yeah, and that's the
thought of him.
The more detail you add to that part of the story, it really just makes it excessively grotesque.
Yeah, of course. And of course, played by Robert Englund, who
does it perfectly as always.
He's perfect as Freddy Krueger. I mean, we all already know that as well. So I did write some notes down. And I don't know where this is streaming. I couldn't really find it streaming. It did say you could rent it on Amazon for $2.99.
Yeah, I think it's in a flux right now because Tubi will get it sometimes, or they'll get most of the series. But right now, I couldn't find it anywhere either.
Yeah.
I had to go back to the old DVDs here and.
Yeah, we brought our DVDs. I brought my DVD, which is great because Steven has a whole other DVD. So we got 2 different DVDs here, which is fantastic. And I mean, hello, where's the Blu-rays?
Yes.
Shout Factory.
I mean, we have that
Get on it.
that little silver Blu-ray set, but there's nothing to it. I'm sure there's a little bit of extra scenes, but it's probably a port over of this one or the box set that you have.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's time for somebody to step up and do a nice Freddy box set.
But like what Shout Factory's been doing with the Halloween series, Chucky, Friday 13th, you get the pins, you get the posters, you get all kinds of stuff with the bundle.
Oh yeah.
I mean, can you imagine getting some posters of these with the movies too? Just like we've been getting with those. So I think. I don't know if Shout Factory needs to do it at some point.
Oh yeah, I would love to see just what they could come up with. Pen designs are always going to be awesome. Are we going to go like a Mondo style poster?
Their posters are insane.
Oh yeah,
I love Shout Factory posters.
I love the swag that they make.
Yep. And then we're both wearing our T-shirts. So this is actually a new shirt from Fright Rags, actually. You get Dream Warriors depicted as warriors. So that's a great shirt. I love it. So it's great for today. And then you have your Freddy shirt on.
Yep, my surfing Freddy. Let's see if I can slip over here. I bought this off of Etsy, off of somebody that I think it was Awesome T-Shirt Company, but I cannot remember who it was, and the guy went defunct. So, cool design, but I'm sure it's floating around out there. Somebody's probably picked it up and started making it again.
Yeah, it is a cool design. I like it.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the movie. I did write down, the whole beginning sequence. This, right at the beginning. Well, they kind of do that pretty much with all the movies, but right at the beginning, you get Freddy. You get something happening. And this is when you get introduced to Kristen. And that whole beginning sequence with her in her room, she's doing the popsicle stick house, which I always loved that.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I want to make one of those. Ever since I was a kid and been watching this movie religiously, I was like, I want to make one like that.
Yes,
with the popsicle stick house, her bratty mom. I hate her mom.
The Dawkins.
Yeah. And then she goes into dream state, and then you get that whole really just nice shot of the Elm Street house, and then it's so dark, and you've got the kids, jumping rope, singing the song.
Yeah.
And then the cute little girl comes out with the tricycle, and she's wearing this bright yellow dress, which is a nice contrast.
Yes.
To that scene. And then just going into Kristen going into the house and seeing everything and all that, and then rescuing the girl. That whole sequence is just beautiful. I love the shot of the camera going like this and seeing the whole Elm Street house.
Yeah, to get the full.
Really nice
I'm not
shot.
sure what that camera shot is called.
They do it a lot. They go this way, and then sometimes they go this way.
Reverse zoom.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not a camera person.
Nope.
But yes, we have a camera person right here. But yes, I love that whole shot.
Oh yeah, the cinematography in the movie is great. I say, yeah, just like the mirror scene towards the end. That's a really cool shot when they blow out all the mirrors.
Yeah,
it's very cool.
So you do realize, I always thought it was funny. Okay, so for me, this was always my favorite Nightmare on Elm Street. I've grown up with it since day one. I've watched it religiously. I cannot tell you how much I watched this movie. I was a big Freddy fan. I've just always been all about some Dream Warriors. I pretty much watched it almost every day in my room. I can tell you that. I really love this movie. But like at the beginning, with that beginning sequence when she rescues the little girl and she's running around, you can clearly see that's a doll.
It's a doll.
Yeah.
Weren't paying the kids for that. Come on.
It's so funny how she's just running around and she gets stuck in the goo. And then that's when you first see Freddy in the movie right off bat. And that's scary. She's stuck and you're all of a sudden, you're like, oh my God, is she going to get unstuck? And he's coming.
Yeah, they build the anxiety to it.
Yeah. So I just love that whole beginning first sequence with Krista and her whole dream sequence. And then she runs into the room with all the dead children hanging.
Yeah, like all of his other victims that we just don't get any insight on.
Well, we do later, because that's when he shows.
Yeah, when he rips open
and he says that he finally says that the souls of the children are giving him strength.
Oh yeah, because he's the strongest he's ever been.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a really cool shot with all the children. That was kind of it's really macabre in a way, and then it's a shot of the little girl who's now a skeleton.
Yeah, little burned up, crispy skeleton.
But I don't know if you read that they wanted to make it even more macabre than that. And they ended up just doing the skeleton, but they really wanted to do something different with her.
I think from Never Sleep Again, I remember the prop guy talking about actually making a nice, scary prop.
Right.
And then they ended up going with that, and he was just like, really?
I think they said it was just too much or something.
Yeah, it was too gruesome, so they had to dial it back, and they just let the poor guy down.
Right. But it still was cool looking.
Oh, yeah,
though.
No,
I still liked it. It was still effective, yeah. And then, again, all special effects you get in this. You get the stop-motion animation. You get practical effects. You get some CGI, which is done fine. It's where it's needed. It's
early versions of
very early versions.
Like when he's got the tendons pulled walking him. But I'm curious how they done that. Actually, I Never Sleep Again may touch on it, but I can't remember.
I know they did. I think they did. They might have on here too. I can't remember. But yeah, I know I've heard about all this before, so I'm sure they did on the documentary. With Philip, and then some other little things, but just so much special effects in this, and it's just everything is just insane, and it's with every single character has something different going on with Freddy, and I like that in this movie.
Yeah, you get your own little subplot for everybody to see their demise.
You get a lot of different characters, a lot of different personalities and stuff.
And that's some really good kills. Some of the best kills in the series. I
think so. Some creative stuff.
Yeah, the TV kill was great.
I have that written down. We all love the TV kill.
I would have loved to have seen Jennifer Rubin's original kill, but I know they said that the prop fizzled out, so it just didn't work, and that's why we got the cutaway. But I believe her head was supposed to swell and pop. It was
either that or was it supposed to shrivel? Which way was it? It was supposed to do something.
Yes, it was one of the two.
It was or was it supposed to pop?
I can't remember now. I'll say I think it was supposed to pop, and it just it blew air out of the neck, and it didn't pop right or something, and they just had to scrap it. So we got the orgasmic Freddy face, which works fine, but it still would have been great to see that original. That original prop go.
Yeah, and the needles were always very cool because
Oh,
all
yeah.
of a sudden in the movie, it's not just the one Freddy glove. You're
Oh,
all
yeah,
of a
it's
sudden
both
seeing
hands.
needles on both hands.
Yeah.
And it was something totally different they hadn't done. And I don't think they'd done anything like that after either. There wasn't anything different.
No,
ever,
he
was
never
there?
never did hypodermic fingers again.
Except for
He
him
did
turning
the-
into Super Freddy. That was something different.
Yeah, he did something different, and he had like the salad tong hands. The gloves were like salad tongs
Oh,
for
yeah.
feeding Greta.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
part 5.
Yeah, that's
So,
right.
But that's
But yeah, the
about
needles
only
are
time.
very cool. And the little suckers on her arm.
Yeah.
I always liked her character. I was like, yeah, I'll be
yeah.
beautiful and bad too.
And she's great to meet in person as
She
well.
is.
Very
She's
very calm
very
and
sweet.
reserved, but very
Yes, she
sweet
is.
lady.
Very casual. I like her. Very laid back. What else did the sink. I put the sink creeps me out. I never liked that scene.
Oh, the little hand
With
grabbing
that-
her hands.
But it's so cool though. It's like one
Yeah,
of my
it's a
most
good effect.
favorite besides the TV. But it's one of my favorite effects, but it's one that always really kind of creeped me out. And I was always like, because you get the
Yeah.
hands coming out, you got her twisting, and then he slashes the wrist, and then, I don't know. The whole thing is insane.
Yeah, it's a very effective scene, I'll say, but it does look good. Like you can tell,
It's great.
however they did it, it just looks good.
Yeah, I love his hands coming out like the faucet and everything. And I like how, she was in the dream, you see all that, she comes back out of it, so you think it's done. But
Yeah,
yet
you
her
get
being in the bathroom is still part of the dream kind of
Yeah.
a thing. And then she actually cut her wrist though.
Yep.
So yeah, that whole thing was just
Yeah.
the gutting of the wrist and all that just
Yeah,
kind of
that's a- she
always
was-
kind
she
of
was a
freaks
bleeder.
me out a little bit. But those I did write down as some of my favorite effects. The
Let's
sink,
see.
the Jennifer and the TV, and then what else did I write down?
I mean,
think that was
even
it, yeah.
like the tongues that they used to wrap up. What was his?
Joey.
Joey. Yes, those were very slimy looking,
Yeah.
but they looked very real. As real as a tongue wrapped around a headboard can look, I guess. But yes, as far as some of the more of the effects in the movie, it all looked really good. I'll say I don't know who did it right off. I'm sure there are Freddy experts out there that know all of the prop guys and the effects guys that were on this. Maybe it was Berger and them guys, but whoever it was, excellent job all around. I mean, especially for 87, but I think 87 was just a pinnacle year. We got so much good stuff at that time.
We did.
I'll say that just everybody was on top of their game.
And that's part of the synopsis too. I didn't say that. While she's there, she has the group of people, but yet when Freddy's introduced, he kidnaps Joey. So the
Yeah.
rest of the movie is them trying to fight Freddy and save Joey.
Yeah.
So
Kind of little subplot there, but yeah.
yeah, that's part of the plot too.
Yeah.
But I love this one because you get all of the different characters, and you got a little bit of fantasy stuff kind of going on with this particular movie.
Oh, yeah,
You got
we
the
get
Wizard
I
Master.
was going to say the proto Harry Potter here that we got.
Yeah. Will being the Wizard Master and all that, and then Patricia Arquette, she does her backflips, and Taryn being bad, and
Kincaid being
strong, and I just loved all of that happening in the movie. That I just thought all that was just kind of made it a little bit fun, and a little
it added
bit
something to it.
That's where it kind of gets a smidge campy and just kind of makes it a little more fun than dark.
Oh, and that's it. I mean, and that's sometimes you need comic relief in a horror movie, and sometimes you can get away without it. And this is one of the times that a little comic relief was fine. Say it didn't take away from anything, and it definitely helped. They're teenagers, so they're all going to be awkward anyway. So it kind of just adds to that level of we're human, we're teenagers. We're awkward too, and it worked.
Yeah, I think so. I did. They didn't do it in part 2, but I just love the fact with this one that they did bring back Nancy and John Saxon. I love John Saxon.
Yep. They had
he's
to.
such a he's an even more asshole in this one of a dad. He doesn't want to do any of this. He doesn't want to listen. He's a drunk.
Yeah. And I noticed, I wonder if he is the security guard of that salvage yard. Because he had the keys for it right away, so it made me wonder. I mean, I don't know if they ever even thought about that themselves. So
did he? I guess he went from cop to security guard.
Oh yeah, you can see it on the patches on his uniform. I've seen that, So, I say he's definitely fallen a step or two in life.
Yeah.
But it's something I noticed last night watching it. It was like, I wonder if he's a security guard for the salvage yard. I don't know. Is that him doing his diligence to keep Freddy in line?
Right.
Making sure that body's still in the same place. But
sure. Good question.
I mean, yeah, I'm curious now.
And then you also get more of a backstory with Freddy and his mom in this particular movie too, which I also loved. You also get to see Amanda Kruger, who was his mom, obviously. She is the nun shown out kind of throughout the movie.
Yep, pops up here and there.
And oh my God, what's his name? The head guy.
Oh, geez.
Oh, why can I not think of his character name? It's so bad that I can't think of his character name.
Oh,
But anyway, he's the only one that sees her, though. No one else sees Amanda. And I like that because you get more of the story with her and how she became pregnant with Freddy and how all of the 100 Maniacs.
Yep.
And I like that. I like a little more backstory with it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Freddy's a character that it's actually nice to get a little backstory. I mean, sometimes with certain characters, I honestly don't want some backstory to just leave it mysterious. Like Jason, I could care less most of the time. It's just, he's supernatural. Whatever, I don't care. Hack people up. That's what I'm here for. But Freddy, there's a little more beef to the storyline, I think. So it's nice to get some little nuggets of his backstory.
Well, you do in each of the movies anyway. Mm-hmm. You get backstory in each movie. So that's just,
Yep, and it's nice that they kind of, by the time you get to the sixth movie, you've pretty much built a pretty solid backstory of
It's just that this one you get introduced to his mom. Yeah. And with her being a nun, for me, I feel like that just adds more, more creepiness to the movie, having this creepy old nun kind of pop up every now and then, and then you find out it's his mom, and it's just it just adds a little more to just another kind of character to the movie than just everybody else. So I like that they added her in too.
A little contrast to the cast.
So I like all that aspects. This is just it would have just been a perfect part 2 if they didn't do the actual part 2. Yeah. But they didn't. And I think which is fine.
Yeah, I think it was just a case of the first movie made so much money that they had to get that second one, and Wes didn't want to do it right away.
Yeah.
So
I don't think he didn't want to do any sequels, really.
I think the way they changed the character, it turned him off to it.
Well, what he wanted to do next was what he did for New Nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't like the idea, so we got this. And then he finally got to do his New Nightmare story.
Yeah.
But that's what his one main intention was after Nightmare on Elm Street, was to have the New Nightmare story come out. But yeah, I read about all that too, which I knew that, but yeah.
Never Sleep Again is such a good source for anything Freddy. And I know there's a hardback of that. I'm sure. Do you have the hardback? Of course. But I would love to actually read the hardback because
paperback, but yeah,
paperback. Okay, whatever it is. I would love to read this big ass book of Freddy lore. I'll say just to because I'm sure there's things in there that didn't get talked about in the documentary and stuff like that.
It's a really good book. I'll take a picture of it when I go home later and send it to you.
All right.
But yes, there is the book too. But yeah, it's an excellent documentary for any Freddy fan or anybody who just wants to know about all of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
Yeah, and it's 4.5 hours long, so it's great to throw on in the background, and just if you got stuff to do in the house, I love putting it on, and just because you can still listen to everything. I mean,
oh yeah, definitely.
And go clean the house up and just take in some Freddy.
Streaming. I think the documentary
that is on Tubi, so go check out Never Sleep Again on Tubi, guys.
What'd you think of the end? See, the ending, I always got really sad with the ending since Nancy
Well, yeah, she dies. John Saxon dies.
Yeah, he dies. But I don't know, the ending with Patricia Arquette just crying and having her in her arms.
Yeah,
that was like a really actually touchy, sad moment.
Yep. Yeah, it was.
In the Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
Yeah, Patricia Arquette crying gets to you.
I wish she would have been able to do part 4, but that's fine, you know.
She was on to better things. I mean, she was an Arquette, so it was something was going to happen. I mean, I think that's around the same time she did Tales from the Crypt too. I know it's somewhere in that ballpark that she did that episode.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure.
She did a good episode on Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah, great cast. I don't know. You have anything else to add?
I don't know. I don't think I do, honestly.
I mean, I just don't have anything bad to say about this.
No, it's a solid movie. If you like Freddy and you've not seen these movies, then it's definitely time to check it out.
Yeah, definitely. Again, you know, to me, this one kind of just seems like it's still a little dark, but this is where just the start of it kind of being a little bit campy, but not too much. So,
yeah, and by the time we get to 6, we're already MTV generation kind of wackiness, which is fine. I enjoy those too. So, no, I think I'm good. Say this is one I enjoy it.
Yeah, me too.
There's tons of trivia on like IMDb. Like this is also, while I'll mention it while I can remember, the Evil Dead glove from Part 2 that appears in the tool shed is stolen from this movie. So that's a very cool factoid.
The Nightmare on Elm Street glove. You said Evil Dead glove.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. The Nightmare on Elm Street glove in the Evil Dead tool shed.
Yes.
That was taken from this movie
This
set.
movie, yes, it was. I love that. All right. I think that's all we have to say about what Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, Dream Warriors.
Yep.
And, great soundtrack. We didn't mention that. Wait a minute.
Oh, yeah. There's that whole Dawkins thing.
Yeah, I know. Dawkins, they put out a good soundtrack to this one.
And they did. And I think they did a video, too.
Into the Fire.
Back when they used to do
Into the
music
Fire,
videos.
Dream Warriors. Yep, sure did.
That was very...
And Patricia Arquette was in the Dream Warriors video.
Okay. See, I was pretty young at that time, so I don't... 87, I was only, 6 years old or so. So, yep, I do not really remember. I remember my parents listening to it and stuff like that, but I don't remember the video. I was probably still scared of Freddy at that time. So, I probably avoided that like the plague.
I remember, too, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air came out with his Freddy song, too.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. Well, I think, was it
Prince.
The Heavy D and the Boys? Or there was a few Freddy albums and stuff from back then.
Wasn't it Fresh Prince that did it? Yeah.
It may have been the Fresh Prince. I can't remember. Somebody correct us in the comments.
I think it was. Ugh, haven't heard it in a long time.
No, that's when I watch Never Sleep Again with the audio on. That's about it.
Well, all right. Well, what else we got going on? We haven't really got anything new in lately. We're still waiting on some stuff. So, we didn't bring any products in. We don't have anything Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3 in stock. I wish we did.
We have one glove from Part 3.
Do we? Do we have a glove?
Yes,
okay.
We have one glove left.
I guess we should have brought that in here then. I know we have some Freddy masks. We just don't have any Part 3.
No, we have a Part 4 and a Part 2.
Yeah, we have 4 and 2. So,
but yeah, unfortunately, like a lot of the Freddy stuff, there just isn't a lot of it.
Yeah, not a lot right now to order.
And I think there's some action figures floating around. There's the masks, and there's random other things, but there's nothing really good on the market. I can't say that. The gloves that Trick or Treat makes are excellent. Those are nice gloves. So there is good stuff on the market. There's just not enough good stuff on the market for Freddy.
Well, right, because you got the whole licensing thing. Going on with
and hopefully,
13 stuff.
Yep, hopefully they will dish that out one day so we can get some more stuff.
Some new Nightmare on Elm Street products. And then we've got Texas Frightmare coming up later this month. So very excited about Texas Frightmare.
Yep,
Can't wait for that.
Yep, very good lineup for that show. Huge lineup for that show.
Yeah, huge. Yeah, you got John Carpenter, and that's
nice.
all anybody has to say is John Carpenter, and everybody's there. The photo ops are sold out. It's all sold out. I mean, his line's just going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, he's nonstop, I'm
there's
sure.
no way I can
sneak away
stand.
long enough for that.
Well, no, I already know I'm not going to. But I just even if I was there not working though, I there's no way I would stand in his line. That's just too long.
Yeah.
I can't do that for a whole day. And
I
feel like
you.
I'm wasting money.
Yeah, I could be doing or looking at other people and meeting.
I can get 10 more autographs at this point in time. Instead of standing here the whole day.
That's kind of how I felt about Doug Bradley at Days of the Dead. Was I really would love to meet Doug Bradley and get an autograph, but Doug, your line is just so long.
And his line was long, but I'm telling you right now,
John Carpenter's line's probably like 4 times.
That still wasn't that long.
No, those weren't bad lines. They were probably 100 people lines, but in the sense of everything, that's not bad.
Yeah, I just can't do it. Props for everybody else that can. I wish I could, because I'm going to bring my Christine autograph, and yes, I have a Christine autograph.
Oh, from the car?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
it's a huge picture you get of the car, and then the autograph is a tire mark. So I had bought that when I took pictures with Christine at another convention.
Okay, very cool.
So I'm going to bring that, and I would like to get the other people that are there for Christine that are going to be there to sign that stuff for me. Yeah. I'm sure I can get that done, but John Carpenter though, I just
you'll get.
Anybody want to do it for me? Anybody come in John Carpenter's line? Take my Christine picture for me?
No doubt, volunteer for that big line.
But yeah, we're just going to be so busy at the booth. I'm probably not going to be up walking around too much.
Yeah. So. Well, and that's good too, because we're going to have, it's so nice to be out and to introduce the store to new people that haven't seen us before, and to just enjoy the show itself, the energy that comes off of everybody.
Yeah, this is a big one. It's a busy one. And then I'm excited to announce, we've announced this once before, but I am excited to announce again that June 3rd from 1 to 4, we will be having Christine Elise here.
Yes.
She played Kyle in Child's Play 2 in the Chucky series, and she played Emily Valentine in 90210. So she will be here from 1 to 4, so make plans now, June 3rd.
Yes. Come check it out.
Can't wait for that. That's going to be fun.
Yep, that'll be a good one.
And that's really about all that we have going on at the moment.
Nothing that we haven't covered. I mean, as far as merch goes, we're just keeping everything nice and stocked for everybody. So plenty of toys, plenty of shirts, plenty of everything.
I heard stickers have been selling like crazy lately.
Yes,
and
stickers are popular, and we have refills of those coming in too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've been spending a lot of money on stickers.
Mm-hmm. People love stickers. It's the little
crazy
stuff. Grab bags too. We go through tons of grab bags.
Honestly though, no one's really buying figures too much right now.
No,
it's
buying throttled figures. Back. I mean,
it's other things.
Yeah, it's
mainly shirts.
Yeah, shirts are a big one. Like you said, stickers, grab bags, buttons. Even pins have slowed down. The enamel pins we're not selling a whole lot.
Well, we need to get more in though.
Yeah, we need a little better variety. But it's just it's weird to see how things have kind of shifted from Funkos and NECA figures over to more apparel and stuff like that.
Well, right now, I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and tell everybody. I mean, you just can't get anything right now from the companies with the toys. You just can't get anything. They don't have anything to get.
And that's it. We're getting all of the good trick-or-treat stuff that we can get. And
because we can get their stuff.
That's it. But the other guys, there's just so little out there, and we can't get it. And it's
then if you do make an order, I mean, certain people like to take a month or two to send you your order. So it's just like...
Yep, and we get caught being the middleman. And we're sorry, guys. We do the best we can.
But yeah, so I mean, there's just nothing out there at the moment. We're trying.
And it's just kind of a slump in the toy side.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what's happening right now. That's what I'm seeing.
Nobody's making anything really good. I've not seen previews like for a Funko that I've been like, ooh, I need that. I mean, and I'm not a Funko guy, but every now and then
they've already shown and put out what horror ones they're putting out this year. That's it.
And that's all we're getting is that.
And then they never have any of the regular ones in stock ever. Like I need Freddy, Michael, Chucky. They never have them in stock for me to order.
Those all day long.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's a big problem. So yeah. So
we
Trick or Treat Studios and shirts. I mean, we've been ordering that stuff. A lot of,
and it sells very well.
But that's what sells. I mean, everybody that's come in the store, they got 2, 3, 4 shirts in their hand all the time. We can't keep up. It's crazy.
I know. T-shirts galore. We have so many coat hangers.
It's a tourist thing, though.
Oh yeah.
I mean, anybody when you go somewhere on vacation or go somewhere, a shirt, stickers, stuff like that. It's just what tourists buy.
It's easy to pack in your luggage. It's handy, small, and so. Yeah, they love that stuff.
Yeah.
And some of it I do too, because we do get some good stickers and stuff like that.
Yeah, we do. All right. Well, I guess that's really about it.
All right.
The short podcast this week, y'all. I hope y'all watched our podcast last week with our interview. That was a whole lot of fun. And we will see you next week. So have a spooky day.
Hey, take care, guys.